Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Sixth Letter to Earth, Episode 3, Who is God or What is God? That is the episode today. Welcome. I am Kyle, or Nightmarish, whichever one you want to call me. I think for the podcast, I'm Kyle. For all my gaming stuff, I'm Nightmarish. I've come to the realization my Nightmarish name is not really positive. So I was like, I should probably fix that up. And so I did. Alright, so let's go through some, before we get to the main show, which is who is God or was God. It's a big religion topic, alright? This is going to be about God and religion, and I'm going to be giving a whole encompassing thing about that. So, anyways, first things first, this hopefully is the last podcast that has to sound like this. I'm hoping my sound is going to sound a lot better. I'm excited for it. I ordered myself a microphone, and it should be coming in ready for the next week's episode. So I'm pretty pumped about that. But as I'm also trying to expand this podcast and the outreach to everyone, I've also made it available out on 2 other podcasting sites. So first, the major one, Spotify. I have it available on Spotify, 6 Letter to Earth on Spotify, and Podchaser. Then, of course, you can always listen to it on Spreaker. So I'm trying to get it working on and try to keep working, expanding the podcast, my podcast outreach. So, watch on Spotify, Podcaster, Spreaker, whichever one you're listening to. Maybe if you don't like it on Spreaker, maybe you have Spotify, you already have everything on Spotify. Well, go listen to it on Spotify. It'll be, I think, I'm going to try to keep going on my outreach. I tried doing Apple Podcast, and it was having little issues with my password, so couldn't quite get it there. Google, I don't know if it got back to me yet on Google. I don't know if it's on there. Actually, so yes, it is on Google Podcasts now. So, I will add that into the link tree, which will have all my socials, which, to go through them, I have TikTok where I kind of do little updates, do little positivity videos, and also I give updates about gaming, and I do gaming clips from my gaming streams, which is on Twitch and DLive. I have officially made it. Mondays are going to be No Man's Sky days, where I go through No Man's Sky. And Saturday nights, I'm going to try audience game night. If there isn't much of, I don't know, if there isn't much participation in that, I guess maybe I will figure something else to do for Saturday nights. Or maybe, I don't know. I might leave Saturday nights as my podcasting nights. So maybe I won't do any gaming. I don't know. We'll see. If we get an audience game night, it'll be Saturday nights at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Not 6 p.m. We're going to bump it up to 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. So that is the time for right now. Actually, that's just going to be the time in general. I'll keep it that way if it keeps going on, if it keeps going good. There we go. So audience game night on Saturdays. Monday will be No Man's Sky. You can watch on Twitch or DLive. Like I said, I prefer everyone to go to DLive. I just find it's easier to access everyone there. And yeah, so DLive and we have No Man's Sky. And then eventually I gotta go through all my games and figure out other games to play too, because I don't want to just play No Man's Sky all the time. I do want to switch it up and try all my other games out. I'm playing a lot of No Man's Sky because of the expeditions. So I'm gonna have to figure out something. I will have to figure something out. Alright, so now onwards, not onto the main show, just a little this is just a little snippet of my journey, my spirituality journey, or my journey to inner peace. I want to talk a little bit about meditation. Oh, shit. Sorry. Okay, I can't edit this. Well, that's okay, whatever. I forgot to mention something else before I go into this meditation thing, so I apologize. We'll get back into meditation after. Actually, meditation will tie into this thing after. Also, suggestion box. I forgot to write this down because I didn't know about the suggestion box until after I wrote my show notes. My suggestion boxes, if you tried to send something before Wednesday, it didn't work. And because I didn't realize I made a suggestion box that needed a subscription. I didn't pay that subscription, it got canceled. So I was like, okay, well, this doesn't work. I need a suggestion box that is going to work. Well, I now have one, and if you go onto the link tree and you click suggestion box, you get D-Box. What's in the box? And in the box is my suggestion box, and I have sticky notes of episode ideas that I plan on, and also you can add suggestions, or you can comment, or you can review shows, and I can talk to you on those. It's like a sticky note, but you make an idea, and I can reply back to you. You can rate show ideas. Click on it, rate on it. That's a great way to show me what kind of stuff you're interested in, and it can also give you a little preview of some stuff that I'm thinking of going through. So I have a few things on there, like I have relationship dynamics, aliens, what they really are, manifesting our own future. Just a few cool things I have kind of planned on for a little later on in the show for other episodes. So, meditation tips. This is something I also am looking for, and I have a sticky note there. For me, I find, and this is where we're going with meditation, I find meditation is really amazing. Like, whenever I'm off kilter, off center, or off track, my meditation is amazing. It's relaxing, and I would love any tips that of any ways to meditate. Like for right now, I'm doing the breathe in through the nose and elongated breath, and just keep on doing that. Even slowing down and going on with that for a little while, and I keep going like that, and I just keep doing that, and I sit still doing, I have my hands on my knees or something like that, and I just do that, and I feel like when I do it right, I feel like I get into this fully meditated state where I get into the higher consciousness is what I call it, and the higher consciousness is for me, I call the higher consciousness like when you're sitting there and you feel like your embodiment spirit is floating and not quite at your ground body, but it's around. And it kind of will tie into today's main topic a little bit. So, I'd love any meditation tips. Do you have any ideas of other things? Like, I know smoking weed kind of helps with that too. I think it gets me to upper consciousness easier. But if I put my mind to it, I can actually get to the upper consciousness without it. So, and I find that's where I pray, which we'll go into more of this, where I pray and connect to God. So I really think that's all good stuff there. Alright, so now let's get into the main show. The main show is about religion and is who is God? Who or what is God? So, let's get into it. Alright, welcome to episode 3 of the Sixth Letter to Earth podcast. It is Who or What is God? And this is my first introduction to how I feel about religion and God and everything like that. So it's a pretty big topic. This is a pretty huge topic, and I hope I can get it all in this 34 minutes I have given myself to get this all done. And since I know how big it is, I decided this time I'm going to not smoke anything before doing this episode because it's big, it's important, and I feel like I should be of normal mind explaining all this because this is a pretty big topic, and I feel like if I'm I feel like if I'm high, I may not be able to explain it as well as I can. So, anyways, so it's a big topic, and so I went and asked on my TikTok video, because on TikTok I will always ask a question pertaining to the main topic of this week's show. So I went and asked, who is God and what is religion? Now, someone has said, so this is what a comment said, a religion is the belief in supernatural beings and a belief in worship in gods that have superhuman powers. The dictionary says the belief in and worship of a superhuman controlling power, especially of a personal god or gods. Alright, so then who is God? Well, in a comment someone said he's an omnipotent, having unlimited power, omniscient, all-knowing, and omnibenevolent, possessing perfect unlimited goodness. And that's who he believes God is. So, the thing I wonder is, can you be religious and spiritual? You have God, you have religion, but what if we're misinterpreting God? What if man is misinterpreting God, and God's not a physical being that is a physical being, but he is in that upper consciousness? Like I said, I feel like we are on main earth, and I feel like heaven or other dimension is the upper consciousness, which is where I believe creators and other supernatural beings live, in the upper consciousness. I believe our creator lives there too. I believe God is not just God or Jesus or whoever you pray to. I believe they're all upper beings in the upper consciousness. That is why I do feel like it is okay to go by, call them by many names, because I don't think man can comprehend who God is, so they gotta try to make it work for humans, right? So they gotta try and make it something we can imagine. So for me, like, I feel the problem is that God is the creator, and the problem is man interprets God differently. And we know him by many names: Buddha, or Muhammad, or God, or Jesus, or the flying spaghetti monster, Cthulhu, I don't know. Like, I feel like there's many different names. We're all worshiping the same God, but a man interprets them differently because they don't know exactly how to interpret him when they get to that upper consciousness. So I do feel like that is one major piece of the puzzle, is I do feel like God himself is a person in the upper consciousness, is the creator, and we can't fathom. I don't think no man can fathom God or the creator. No man can. So no man can fathom God. No man can interpret God properly. So we come up with different interpretations for God. Now I feel like being spiritual, like meditating and having energies, is a way to get to the upper consciousness, which I think is heaven. And I feel like when you can get into upper consciousness, I believe that means you could talk to God or other super upper conscious beings like Jesus or any gods that you believe in. I believe, or angels, are all in the upper consciousness. And I feel like being spiritual allows you to get to upper consciousness, with like meditating and controlling energies. I believe all that allows you to be religious and talk to gods. Like when I meditate, I've actually received messages. I've received messages when I'm meditating from upper conscious beings. Now, I interpret it as God, but who knows? It may not be God, but it's at least an upper conscious being. Because when I'm meditating, I've received two messages. About a month ago, when I started this, I received a message saying, it's going to be scary, it's going to be hard, but it'll be worth it in the end. Now, I don't know what that means yet, but maybe something, like maybe I've been having a little rough times lately. Maybe that's what they're talking about. But who knows what that means? Then about a week ago, I was meditating and I received another message. It said, love is the only way. You've got to love and show love and spread love. Those are two messages that I received from the upper consciousness when I was meditating. I believe those are messages from God. I really do. And when I'm praying, because I feel prayer is very powerful. Right? I believe I told you guys the story. I don't know if I told you the story, but a couple weeks ago, my wife, my wife, my son and I, we prayed together. And we're all meditating and praying. And I felt like when we were praying, it was so powerful that I started crying. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that it's that powerful. And I can feel it when I'm meditating by myself and or praying by myself and praying with other people. I can feel it. See, God, I don't think you can't be told God is real. You have to feel God is real. You have to feel Him inside you. No man can tell you God is there. No, you can't read in a book that a man wrote that God is there. God's divine, and you have to feel it. You could listen to my words and you'd be like, okay, well, that doesn't really tell me anything about God. And that's the point. The point is you have to feel God. You have to feel that He's in you, and so you can believe God is in you. I went through a period of time where I did not believe in God. I was lost. I didn't think God was real. I thought religions were all pointless and dumb. But I think they were all misinterpreted by man. But one day, I was laying in bed with my wife, and I just realized, no, God is real. I feel God. I don't see God. I don't have to know, I don't have to have physical proof that He's real. Because you know where He's real? He's real in your mind and in your heart. That's where God is. That's where God is real, and that's the only way God can stay alive, is if we believe in Him and we feel Him. We can't be reading in books that He's real. And religions, I feel, for the most part, they take His message, they take the message of God, and they kind of spin it for their own good. I feel, unfortunately, man is malleable. Man will always make mistakes. Man is full of sin, obviously. But also man can also be sneaky and selfish, and they can misinterpret words. So anytime I hear of a prophet, I can't 100% believe that prophet actually got a message from God. I have to feel the message to know that it's real. I can say a message from, like my messages I got from God, and you could be like, well, I don't believe that, and then you have every right to. You didn't feel it. You didn't feel it. And I feel that's the way you feel God. The way you believe in God is if you feel God. You can't be told God. Like, you can't be told, right? And like, how can we know that words that are like in the Bible or written in scriptures are from God or of the upper beings when a man interprets it? A man wrote it down, interprets it. Like, there's no proof that a God wrote those words. For most of what I've heard from most religions, God or the upper being told a prophet, and the prophet wrote it down in a book. So how can we 100% know those words spoken from a man, written by a man, were 100% from God? So, like I said, the only way you can know what God has told what God has told a man is real is if you can feel it. If you feel God in there, and you can feel it. Like I went to church. We went to church in our city here. We found a church, and we didn't feel right with it. We didn't like they were telling us these nice scriptures and everything about God and Jesus and all that, and they're telling us nice stories and everything from the Bible and everything, but it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel powerful. It didn't feel like God was there. I feel like, and they were also kind of political. I didn't like that. I don't think religion needs to be political. It should be apolitical. Because it doesn't matter what side of the aisle or who you support politics wise. Religion should be for everyone. You should be able to believe in religion and not believe and have different beliefs. I truly believe that. Like I really, really do believe that. So you gotta be careful with some religions the way man writes it, because man is always. I feel like man is selfish, and the only way you can actually interpret what God is and what God is saying is if it comes straight from Him, divinity, you know. So being religious, I feel like you have to kind of have a little spirituality in you to believe in God, that God is sending you a message directly. Because for me, the Bible, great stories, great morals in some of the stories, but a man wrote it. A man revised it. A man chose what to be in there and what to leave out. And that's the main issue I have with the Bible and all religious texts and priests who preach the word of God, because when it comes right down there, there's a middleman there. That middleman has his own agenda. We don't know what his agenda could be. It could be greed, it could be control, it could be fame. Who knows? But the main thing, I just feel like religious texts can be manipulated in such a way that we believe God said it, but it may not be true. So you just gotta feel positive. Like you gotta feel positive with the message. You gotta feel like God's talking to you. I feel that's the major one. Like for me, meditating and praying, when I'm meditating, and I pray when I'm meditating, or I'm praying with my family, I feel God there. When I stepped into that church in quotations, I am putting in quotations, a temple of God in quotations, I didn't feel God there. Yeah, it was a nice sense of community, and they all seemed like they had good morals, but I didn't feel God there. We have a family friend who preaches and talks about words of God. I feel God when he speaks. I can feel God when he's speaking. But I can't feel God when a priest at this church was speaking. And you will know, you can feel it. If you truly believe and you are truly religious, and you truly believe you want to be connected to God, you should be able to feel if you are in a church that is righteous or that you feel right about. You should be able to know all this. And when it comes right down to it, a lot of churches, what did churches do before? Like, what did churches do in history? Churches collect tithing, where they took a little bit of money from you and got rich off of them. The churches used to be the government head until we decided to change that. They used to actually collect a lot of money, these churches. Churches still don't pay taxes, but they still collect donations. To be honest, I find churches are actually I think churches kind of take advantage of people wanting to believe in God. And I believe that, since they don't have to pay taxes, they get to trick people into be donating to them, giving them money, in the name of God. And these people, the people who donate, they have good intentions. They want to help the church because they think the church is going to help them get closer to God. But I just feel like some of these churches may not actually be heading in that right direction. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't really know if all the churches are doing that. So my main message with this is you gotta feel God. You can't be told about God. You can't be reading Him in the Bible. You can't be reading Him in any religious text. You can't be told by a man, because man is fallible, and that is the main thing. That's a big theme of what I'm going to be talking about in a lot of my things. Is it's hard to believe man. A man is really hard to believe, and I feel religion has been a tool to divide us. Organized religion has been a tool to divide us because what does it say in the Bible? There's only one God, and if you don't believe that God, you will be sent to hell for all eternity. What if that one God is the same upper being of all these other upper beings, like Buddha or Muhammad, or all the gods? What if they are all the same level? But a man is trying to make it seem to divide us. Because man wants to divide us. And I've already gone through a lot of reasons why man wants to divide us. It's to prevent positive energy coming up. And they want to find ways to separate us and divide us, because the farther apart we are, the farther apart we are, the less powerful we can be. And look how powerful I said. When I meditate by myself, I feel like I get powerful prayers or powerful meditations. But they are nothing compared to when my wife, my son, and I all pray together. And if we get like-minded beings like that, now, like-minded beings praying, meditating like that, connecting to God in that spiritual way, I feel that is that would be so powerful, more powerful than any church can make you. You gotta feel like God is in your church. You gotta feel it, and that's only gonna come from instinct, because no man's gonna be able to convince you that a God is in your church. You gotta feel it when you walk in the building, when you hear whoever's doing a sermon that day. And that's the thing. I'm not saying the Bible is a bad book that no one should listen to. It's great. It has great morals. And it may have little snippets of what God may have said, or little stories about God, or connecting closer to God. Because think about sins. What are sins? What can sins be? Negative energy. Don't commit negative energy. Don't kill people. Don't steal from people. Don't lie. Don't covet other people's goods and people, like spouses. All those things are negative feelings. Those are negative energy. Do not cheat. Those are all like sins, and the sins essentially are just negative energy. Don't show envy. Like envy, what are all these? All these are negative energy. So to have positive energy instead of negative energy, so essentially there's calling sins when sins should be is negative energy. So, and we were told not to do these things. Well, yeah, it's true. We shouldn't do those things. But I don't think it's to be sent to hell, like hell for all eternity. I don't think hell exists. I think hell is to add fear into us. And fear, so we would listen to these priests and this organized religion to do their bidding. To listen to what their priests say that has to be done. I truly 100% believe that. And this is all part of, and churches used to be a big thing where everyone went to church and it was a community thing. But now we're being divided. We need to be religious on our own terms. And I feel like we need to bring the spirituality part into religion and combine them both together, because that's truly the way it's going to be. I feel true religion is spirituality, as long as you can recognize that there's a creator who created this earth, and to not emit dark energy and spread positivity and love, I think ultimately that is religion. And God is an upper being that created us, and we can talk to him when we meditate and get to the upper consciousness. That, in summary, is what this whole topic has been about. And I honestly feel like that's the best way to explain it. I went through all my topics, I got everything done, and I got this whole topic done. So if you want to reply back to my takes on religion, or the Bible, or anything like that, feel free to click on the link in the description of any of the 3 places that my podcast is at. Right on the D box, and certainly suggest new ideas, because the community box stuff will come at the front of the episode or at the end if it relates to the certain episode that I'm going to be doing next. I'll always have a D box sticker on the next episode. I'll have it, next episode is such and such, and you can write a comment on that sticker note of that episode of anything you want to talk about it. And I always have a question with it or a little topic to go with it. I do have an awesome episode for my first one with my new microphone. Next week's episode is going to be about your gatekeeper and controlling your mind so you think the way you want to think, not the way outside sources are trying to influence you. It's going to be a great topic. I feel like it's going to have just the same as much energy as this one here. Again, you can listen to this on Spotify, Podchaser, Spreaker, and now Google Podcasts, guys. Google Podcasts, that's awesome. I'll make sure I add that to the link tree. Alright? And then, not only can you listen to it on those 4 places, you can listen to it there. You can also follow me on TikTok, where I'll do positivity TikToks, and I will be doing little funny videos or uplifting videos there, or just videos about me streaming on video games from Twitch and DLive. You can follow me there, watch me. Mondays are my No Man's Sky, and Saturdays will possibly be game nights at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. That's a potential thing we're going to work on. We're going to try that next week. I'm going to try to do Jack Party Box. We'll do some Jack Party Box before I do the podcast. So, we got all that figured out. We got that done. So the next episode will be controlling your gatekeeper. Thinking what you want to think. I'm super excited about this episode. And suggest many other episodes, guys. I really would love to hear more episode ideas, because honestly, and I'd love more feedback. I would love more feedback. So anyways, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to the 6th letter to Earth, which means freedom to Earth, not anything else. It's freedom to Earth. Alright? Freedom to Earth, freedom to you, freedom to your mind. And while we're here, let's say a little prayer. Why not? Let's say a little prayer. Let's do a prayer together. We have 10 minutes. Put this music in the background. Let's say a little prayer. All right. You pray to whoever you want to pray to. Alright? I always do it this way. Dear Heavenly Jesus, I want to thank you for this blessed day. I want to thank you for providing me with food and shelter and with this voice to spread positivity around the world. I'd like to thank you for providing me strength to get through the darkness that tries to come into my life and to cast it away and to lift the burdens off of my shoulders. And I want you to do the same for everyone else. Cast their darkness away. Cast their burdens off, take it off of their shoulders. Help the sick get better. Help cure people from their addictions. And give people the strength to see the light, to show the light to everyone. I want to thank you for allowing me to be an agent of light and spread light around to the world. In the Lord's name, Jesus Christ, amen. And you can pray to any God you want to pray to. I truly believe that. Thank you. Have yourself a good one. I'll see you guys next week.